motivate your mind. Come with me, let's make this moment brighter. Wake up with the Bahamas at sunrise. Come on and wake up with the Bahamas at sunrise. Wake up with the Bahamas at sunrise. Wake up with the It's another day, the sun is shining. Got to know what's going on around you. Wake up, it's the time to motivate your mind. Come with me, let's make this moment brighter. Wake up with the Bahamas at sunrise. Come on and wake up with the Bahamas at sunrise. Wake with the Bahamas at sunrise. Wake up with the Bahamas at sunrise. Hey.
Good morning and welcome to Bahamas at Sunrise. I'm Anastasia Palacios. A very happy Monday to you.
Yes, good morning and welcome to Bahamas at Sunrise. Thank you for joining us dead early on this marvelous Monday. My name is Mark Daniels and it's a pleasure for us to have you with us on this marvelous Monday.
Indeed, it is. We hope you enjoyed the weekend, that you're looking forward to a great week ahead. Certainly, we're looking forward to a great show today. But before we get into it, Mark, how was the weekend for you?
The weekend was hot, first of all, as everyone knows, it's summertime. But I had a great time with the family. Just want to wish my mother and father, Peter and Lenora Daniels, happy anniversary, 46 wonderful years, so many wonderful memories, so many crowning achievements, 3 children, 7 grandchildren, and maybe more to come in the future. I know where they're coming from. But thank you so much for being wonderful parents, setting the example, setting the tone. And don't worry, the legacy is unlocked.
It sounds so amazing, and so we wish them a happy anniversary. And it's interesting, Mark, because my in-laws are celebrating their anniversary today as well. So wishing a very happy anniversary to James and Angela Palacios as they celebrate. And I am thinking that they may be about 42 as well. So that's very ironic. But a very happy anniversary to them. Thank you for being such excellent examples of love and continuity and persistence and relationship, and of course, the best grandparents in the world. And so we celebrate both of our parents this morning. And of course, we are celebrating with all those celebrating birthdays, anniversaries, special milestones, whatever they may be. And then, of course, if you are unfortunately on the other side of that and dealing with a loss this morning, we acknowledge that as well and extend our deepest condolences to you. And just continue to pray that God would lift you up during this hard time. With that being said, With that being said, Mark, I think we better tell them what's happening on the show today, because we've got a great one lined up for you. We're going to be hearing from comedian Naughty about Laughfest 2022. And we're also going to be talking to Doctors Hospital about the Kavala Medical Center in Grand Bahama joining their healthcare system.
2 very exciting segments, Star. I might be able to one-up you. We're going to be talking about incontinence in our urology care segment. That's exciting. And we're also going to be talking to Scott Johnson about the Bahamas' diverse terrestrial wildlife. But first, let's check in on weather with Brother Godfrey Burnside.
Weather at Sunrise, brought to you by Bahamas First. What's first for you comes first for us.
Thank you, Mark, and good morning, Bahamas. In your first look at weather at sunrise, our surface churrasco across the Central Bahamas and Vicente Exomo, Cat Island, and at Cat Island and San Salvador moving towards the west. And that's creating some unsettled weather across the islands today through tomorrow. So my Saharan dust holds on Wednesday, though, and I'll dry those for the weekend. I'm watching the ridge of high pressure that's going to generate some strong winds, particularly over the central and southeastern islands. Today, mix of sun and clouds, still hot and humid, breezy over the central and southeastern islands with a few showers and the possible isolated thunderstorms. High temperature 92, heat index 103. Tonight, partly cloudy, warm and muggy. Still breezy over the central and southeastern islands with a few nighttime showers, isolated thunderstorms. Below going down to 79 degrees Fahrenheit. And some region highs and lows across the Caribbean, Barbados 87 and 80. Across Jamaica 87, 86. In Trinidad 87, 79. And the Turks and Caicos Islands 90 and 79. Across North America, Atlanta 92 and 75. In Raleigh 91 and 77. In Miami 88 and 80. Dallas, Texas 102 and 81. And Toronto, Canada 77 and 65. As we go the week, surface trough is going to create some weather across the northwest and central Bahamas tomorrow. As that surface trough moves out of the area by Wednesday, ridge of high pressure will continue to have those breezy conditions on Friday. Saharan dust moves in here on Wednesday and that'll dry us out for the weekend. So for the most part, tomorrow mostly cloudy with scattered showers and isolated thunderstorms. But by Wednesday into the weekend, we're looking at sunny skies, hot and humid conditions, slight chance of afternoon shower, and yes, those temperatures daytime will be around the 90-degree mark, and down in the upper 70s. And yes, the heat index will continue to be in the triple digits through the remainder of the week. That puts you up in your first look at the weather at sunrise. I'm glad to go inside. Back to you, Mark.
Thank you, Godfrey. Tens of thousands of Bahamian women and men have their bladders dictate their lives and reduce the quality of their everyday lives. Here to explain this condition and its treatment is Dr. Greggory Pinto, urologist at Urology Care Bahamas. Good morning and welcome to Bahamas at Sunrise, Dr. Pinto.
Good morning, and it's my pleasure to be here. Yes, you are correct. Unfortunately, too many men, women, and even children in our society allow the bladder to rob them of their happiness, dictate their lives. Too many of us are living our lives based on where's the next bathroom. Are we going to make it there in time? We can't go out in traffic. It affects our life socially, professionally. It can affect our self-esteem, whether you're an adult or a young child. So never let your bladder rob you of your happiness or dictate your everyday life or even your nighttime routine. So there's so many reasons that a bladder can affect you. Your problem might be very different from your neighbor or your colleague at work or your church member. But the simple thing is, as long as we treat the root cause and we treat it effectively, you will gain back control of your bladder and gain control of your happiness. There's no need for a grown man, whether you're a taxi driver or a police officer, to be driving around with a cup because they can't even pull over to the side of the road to urinate. It shouldn't be where a female is afraid to go out in traffic because they know they can't even pull over to the side of the road. 1 in 3 women in this country are wearing panty liners or pads because every time they cough, they sneeze, they laugh, they lift anything heavy, despite their best efforts, they're going to leak a little bit of urine. So let's treat the root cause, which can be multiple. There could be multiple causes of you not being able to empty your bladder, or you may be having an overactive bladder, or what we call urge urinary incontinence. You don't make it to the toilet in time when you have to urinate, or stress urinary incontinence. Anytime you exert any effort, any increase in intra-abdominal pressure, you're going to leak a little bit of urine. So you need to be confident to go to the gym. You need to be confident to go lift your child, whether you're a grandmother or a young mother. As you get older, your estrogen level is going to fall. Anyone who's had a vaginal delivery or pregnancy, it can affect the strength of the muscles within your pelvis. That in itself can lead to what we call stress urinary incontinence, where you leak every time you exert any effort. So medication in many cases can help if they are ineffective or they do not treat the problem effectively. We can do minimally invasive procedures. When I mean minimally invasive, painless procedures that can be done in your lunch hour, or we can prescribe physiotherapy. So stop living with the embarrassing problem of letting your bladder control your life. Stop having that issue where you have to wear dark clothing because you leak urine, or having to change a panty liner 5, 6, 7 times in the night, or waking up 4, 5, 6, 7 times in the night and having a very fatigued existence because you never get a good night's sleep.
So you mentioned that both men and women would suffer from this condition. When it comes to men, is there something that we do that causes this? Is there something that we shouldn't do to prevent this?
Well, you always have to look at your behavior. If you drink in excess, in terms of not even talking about alcohol, although alcohol is a diuretic, that'll make you urinate more frequently, more urgently, and have a bigger volume of urine to pass. But I'm talking about fluid intake, just simple fluid intake. So if you're overdoing it with liquid intake in the night, or even during the day, anyone, even with a normal bladder, is going to have urinary urgency and frequency. So you have to look at the quantity, the volume of fluids that you drink and exactly what you're drinking. Caffeine is also a diuretic. That's going to make you pee frequently and urgently as well. So if you're drinking 12 cups of strong coffee every day, you're going to be urinating every half hour, every 45 minutes. But medications also can be a culprit. There are certain medications that can prevent you from emptying your bladder effectively as well. So as urologists, we have to be a private investigator. We need to determine what is the cause of your problems as an individual. It may be very different from somebody else. So you can't just with a broad paint stroke determine that all men have this problem, all women have this problem. You can have multiple problems as well. But for most men, as they get older, advancing age, you're gonna have an enlargement of your prostate. Your prostate's gonna prevent you from emptying your bladder completely. And statistically speaking, we're talking about benign enlargement of your prostate, BPH. So when you get in your 50s, your 60s, your 70s, as many as 70% of 70-year-olds are going to have an obstructive prostate. That's going to make them pee 5 times in the night. It's going to make them have a very weak urinary stream. When they do go to urinate, they're not emptying the bladder completely. So that can cause them to have their bladder control their life. For women, as I mentioned, vaginal deliveries, pregnancy, getting older, entering menopause, that can affect your ability to hold your urine because you can have weakness of the pelvic musculature. Your urethra itself is going to have a laxity to it. So you can, every time you exert any effort, you're going to leak in the urine. But there's so many reasons, whether it's obstructive causes, non-obstructive causes, pharmacological causes in terms of medication. Something as simple as constipation can cause you to not empty your bladder in a child, and as a female at any age, as a male of any age. Pregnancy can cause you to have urinary frequency and urgency. As a woman, uterine fibroids can cause it. I keep trying to spread the message, children should not be wetting the bed. Do not let bedwetting destroy the happiness and self-esteem of a child. So there's so many things that we can do as a urologist to get you dry that very night.
Because that was going to be my next question. You know, I have 2 big boys or bigger boys, and I have an infant that's, you know, also a son. And I watch them, and one of my sons, he'll wait until the last minute to run to the bathroom. And, you know, I don't want to put him on blast, but he has wet the bed before. And so is that behavior something that might lead into incontinence later on in life, or it's just more about the amount of liquids, making sure that you empty your bladder and just get into good habits from young?
So it all depends, again, on the individual. There may be a physiological reason. There might be an anatomical, functional abnormality that's preventing any child from emptying their bladder. There may be a disconnect in terms of the brain setting signals for you to wake up before you urinate. So the worst thing in the world is to scold a child, to blame a child for wetting the bed, for wetting the bed. It's not their fault. Right. It's something that they usually grew out of when they're 15, 16, 17, but any child over 6 years old should not be wetting the bed. And don't let parents, guardians, the child themselves deal with that distressing issue, because it can be overwhelming. You never can go on a field trip. You can never go sleep over with friends. Every night you're sleepless because your parents have to wake you up and change the sheets, change your pajamas. That's not a way to live. And if we can solve the problem, and as urologists, we can effectively solve that problem, no matter what the cause is, get you dry in the night, let your child have that confidence again, not have them afraid to go to bed, because they know that they can go to sleep and they're not going to be wetting the bed and not going to wake up in a puddle of urine.
But my son, he ain't scared to go to bed and he ain't scared to let it loose. So what I've done is I would wake up in the middle of the night and just take him to the bathroom. And I found after doing that a couple of times, he would stop urinating in the night. And so that was the way we worked at it. But we can always find you, Dr. Pinto, at Urology Care Bahamas. Tell the people how they can find you to find out more about incontinence, whether it's man, woman, or in a child.
Well, I have a website and a Facebook page, urologycarebahamas.com, and my main office is at Oak Tree Medical Center, which is 5th Terrace, Mount Royal Avenue. The number there is 322-1145 or 6.
Dr. Pinto, always a pleasure speaking with you. Always learn so much, and always going to stick in this plug, especially for us men. Go and see your doctor. If there's something that you have questions about that you've been holding in for a while, it's not going to help if you don't get it checked out. So reach out to Dr. Pinto, reach out to your personal physician, get yourself checked out so you can live yourself a nice, long, healthy, stress-free life. Once again, Dr. Pinto, thank you for joining us on Mamas at Sunrise.
It's always my pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Thanks. You're watching Mamas at Sunrise. We'll be right back.
Our world has changed. Many businesses have been closed for months with little or no access to their customers until now. Rev Media can help you remain connected to your customers. Our trusted customized advertising packages and personalized consultants will provide your business with immeasurable support during this challenging time. Your customers are already watching. Rev Media can help you to remain connected. Call us today. Let us help you.
With so much going on in the world today, only accepting cash at your business can be risky. Let Fidelity offer you and your customers safety, convenience, and the flexibility of a fixed or mobile terminal. Take it with you, on the move and on the go, because business should never stop. For more details, speak to one of our business development officers at 356-7764 in Nassau or 352-6676 in Freeport. Visit our website at fidelitygroup.com or visit us at any of our branches.
Welcome back to Bahamas at Sunrise. While I'm talking to the funny man himself, and he, of course, is getting ready for the 15th annual Laughfest 2002 coming up at Fusion Superplex this weekend, July 29th and 30th. And of course, I'm talking about the one and only Laughfest host, comedian, radio personality extraordinaire, Naughty Zenicazelaya is here to give us all the exciting details. Naughty, good morning and welcome back to Bahamas at Sunrise.
Morning, how are you? Always glad to be here. Happy Monday.
Thank you and a happy Monday to you. It is always a pleasure. Normally we're speaking with you around football or what the predictions are, but I'm sure that'll come later on in the year. But right now we want to find out about Laughfest. 15 years of Laughfest, Naughty. Congratulations.
Already, thank you so much. And thank you for everybody who's come out over the years and supported it, because, I mean, I couldn't do it without them and we couldn't do it without them. So on behalf of Wise Guy Entertainment and the Beam Agency, like I said, 15 years. I don't know where the time's gone. It's been fun all the way around. The pandemic kind of put a little dent in it. We managed to get the Valentine version, which we call Lovefest in. But unfortunately, Laughfest couldn't happen because of social distancing and protocols and, competent authority that didn't like comedy. So, we got jokes. We got a therapy session coming on Friday and Saturday. We got some local material. And that's what I'm happy about, that as we progress and as we grow, we've been able to feature more Bahamian comedians. And it's my pleasure this year to have Das Gray. I think he's one of the hottest tickets in town right now as far as commercials and physical comedy, stand-up comedy. He's doing big things with plays in the States. He got sitcom written all over him. Just watch. It's coming. All right. And then BJ coming up. BJ is like traditional. He likes the stand-up aspect of it. He's a really good writer. He's got a great perspective of Bahamian humor. And then another young talent coming up, Shad Fur. A lot of people may know him from the music world or from the poetry world, but he's actually funny as all outdoors. And when you combine like the poetry and the comedy and the music, you got something special. I've been doing it for 25 years. Been blessed to be doing it locally and internationally, and still the only working comedian out of the Bahamas and the Caribbean to tour and work in the States that resides outside of the United States. So I'm still proud of that. And then we got two of my best friends in the business coming along. Bodacious is your headliner. He opens regularly for DL Hewley. They just blew up Providence, Rhode Island last night. He'll be in town. He's ready to go. He loves Great Cliff cigars and conch salad. And so he's ready to go. He's ready to kick his feet up. And for the first time, we got Cisco Duran. He's out of Florida. Very funny individual. He's Cuban American. You know, you get some of my Cuban perspective, but his is totally different being Cuban American. And he's about 300 pounds bigger than me. So he likes food and he got a lot to talk about. So it's going to be a rounded show. There's something there for everybody. So everybody can come out and get you laugh on. And we're excited to be doing it at Fusion. Long overdue. We should have been doing some at Fusion for a long time. So big up to Johansi and big up to Abner and the crew over there at Fusion for making it happen. They made sure to do an awesome job. We're looking forward to have a great show Friday, 9 o'clock, Saturday and Sunday, 7:30. Saturday, 2 shows, 7:30 and 9:30. And like I said, all your eats and drinks will be there. Fusion going to take care of all of that. We can have a great time. And then on Saturday, you know, we got an after party surprise for you. We'll tell you how to hook up. But all you got to do is get there, buy your tickets, enjoy the show, and we'll hook you up. But we're looking forward to it. And again, thank you to everybody who's supported it over the years. But I got to send a special shout out to John Shoes, KFC Nassau, all 15 shows. Supported us, sponsored it. Tropical Gyros has come on since they are come into existence, and Fine Threads as well. So big up to all of those. Couldn't do it without them. They've been on board from day one. So I appreciate the sponsors, and we really hope that it'll be a great show again this year. Fans, you've been waiting for it. Come on out, get your laugh on.
That's excellent, Naughty. Congratulations to you and to your team of sponsors who've been doing this for a while. Let's talk ticket sales. How do we get them? Should we buy those in advance? Do we get them directly from Fusion? Talk to us about how we can actually purchase tickets and what is the cost?
So Fusion Superplex has done a great job. All you have to do is log on to that website, fusionsuperplex.com. Click on movies. If you want to go to the Friday show, click on Friday. If you want to go to the Saturday show, click on Saturday. You could order your tickets online. You can still go to Fusion and purchase your tickets. General admission of 40, VIP of 60. That's prime seating. You got wait service and you up close and personal. And we'll do great radio giveaways and in-store giveaways from sponsors. So it's going to be a great look. It's going to be a great time. And we're excited about it because it's the first time at Fusion, but I think it's going to be the first of many at Fusion because it's perfect for comedy.
Yeah, man. I want to shout out my friend Johansi. He really has been doing a dynamic job and, you know, bringing Bahamian entertainment and Bahamian conferences to Fusion. And it's a great spot because those are Bahamians just like us about excellence, about getting things done. And so it's great to see this fusion literally of talent, right, across the board. Naughty, when you look back over the 15 years, what has been the greatest moment for you? What are you most proud of?
The fact that we went from 1 to 15.
Mm-hmm.
It grows every year. People come back. Fusion is like, people have been calling since the commercial started. That's Laughfest, man. That's a August holiday, Monday weekend staple.
Yeah.
Boom. I mean, just like we designed it that way because we know every year there's a different set of people that stay home and don't travel with nothing to do. Come get done and all of that, and it's good.
Yeah.
And comics, loved it. I like the fact that the American comics have talked it up in the States. So now, you know, Laughfest is something that they want to get on. Naughty, who you booking for Laughfest this year? They call me before I have to call them.
Oh, that's excellent, Naughty. That's excellent. When you look toward the future, what are you most excited about with Laughfest?
Well, first of all, to continue to bring cutting edge comedians. Every year we bring one who blows up afterwards. This year is Cisco. I'll tell you that right now. Look for him to do big things in the future. We had Will Sylvince on before. Was another guy who just blew up and did a lot of big things. And I see Cisco doing the same kind of thing. And then obviously getting it to 20. And maybe on 20, we could do just an all Bahamian show.
Mm-hmm.
And we got after 20 years.
Yeah. Now, when you say that, right? Go ahead.
I see some old cronies from the spot lurking in the back there. I got to pull them out of comedy time. Ride them back. I done sit out for the morning. My mind is working.
Yeah. I love that, Naughty. And I was just going to ask you, do you think like having Laughfest here and you doing the work that you've done has helped the industry to grow? Because you mentioned some of the Bahamians that are going to be performing this year. We see people like Dasquay now actually making a living from this. People like Sawyer Boy making a living from this. Do you think that Laughfest and the work that you've done has kind of paved the way for that?
I don't like to brag. I like to keep it humble because, you know, I feel very blessed to do something that I love and get paid well to do it for so long. Like Spike Lee says, when you do something you love and you get paid to do it, you win. So I've been for a while. So I like to share the victory. At first, all those guys who said when they were breaking in, I was like, the mean big brother. I was like, no, the industry go like this. You got to learn. You got to keep your day job. Keep running. They've all matured. They've all learned how the industry goes. And each of them, to me, has their strong point. If you look at Asper, like I said, that's sitcom written all over him. Physical comedy, funny, witty, and he's done great with the plays in the States. So another one, sitcom. You give him a chance to sit down with that camera, works magic. Then you look at BJ, like I say, up and coming, stand up, very funny. You got Get Off King, Arnold Miller, who's doing stuff in the States now too, doing open mics and stuff. So I applaud him for doing that. So we've got a little community. We've got about 6 or 7. And who respect comedy and the craft. And people realize now there's different levels to comedy. There's stand-up, there's satire. That's what I do. Then there's video, there's sitcom. Then there's like, you got your whole brand new version of video comedians nowadays, 30-second memes, and they're huge. So it's growing. And I think that what Laughfest did and what I did indirectly with the Beam agency is like, you look at a pond, when you throw a pebble in the pond, it sets off rings, right? So we at the 15th ring. Let's try to get to the 20th. And I'd really love to see all Bahamian cast for the 20th show.
That's awesome. Nadi, well, congratulations to you from us here at Bahamas Sunrise.
Because you all always hold me down in your own right too. And I appreciate it.
Yeah, we proud of you and proud of the work that you continue to do. Congratulations on 15 years. Of course, we can remember to get those tickets July 29th and 30th, right? Right, July 29th and 30th. Tickets are on sale right now at Fusion. And go get them because they're going fast, especially the Friday show. I done been hearing things about this Friday show. Like, people won't start the party early. So if you can't get Friday, you got 2 options for Saturday and Sunday. And last but not least, most definitely not least, I couldn't do all of this without my wife, MJ, because she supports all my stuff. So I can get out there and do it. So I can't forget her. All right. I love that, Nadi. Well, shout out to MJ. Shout out to the boys. Thanks again for joining us this morning on the Sunrise. I see them minus me in December. They stars now. They think that portion is all them. they are stars. You made them so. There you go. I think Carrie made them stars. That's what Uncle Carrie. And all y'all, I really appreciate y'all. Y'all come get your laugh on at Laughfest, man. We have a great show this year. We got jokes for everybody. Come see me. All right, we made to make you laugh. We will do. Thanks for joining us this morning, Nadi. No problem, man. Laugh now, cry later. We'll see you at Laughfest. We'll be back with more Bahamas at Sunrise in just a minute.
Comfort Suites Paradise Island is the best kept secret in the Bahamas. Located directly next door to the Atlantis Resort, you'll receive all the privileges of an Atlantis guest with all the benefits of a Comfort Suite stay. Enjoy everything Atlantis has to offer, including Aquaventure Water Park, plus all the amenities of Comfort Suites. Free Wi-Fi, free breakfast daily, and kids stay, play, and eat free. Visit ComfortSuitesPI.com.
Join the Click is an initiative started by Cable Bahamas Business Solutions last year when we were trying to figure out how to help business leaders as well as consumers to stay connected. Working with Canoe, working with other partners, working with the government and My Gateway to help them to connect with customers who want to place orders and want to be able to do things in a digital way.
My Gateway. My Gateway is a groundbreaking portal through which clients can request and pay for government services online. We have 28 services. We expect to increase the number of services to a minimum of 200.
I love that we're helping the government and helping our citizens to be more efficient and to use their time more wisely.
I invite you to sign up for mygateway.gov.bs and let us make government work for you. Join the Click.
Welcome back to Bahamas at Sunrise. We're at the halfway point on this marvelous Monday. I'm Anastasia Palacios.
And I'm Mark Daniels. Thank you for sticking with us to the mid-show. It's dead early on a Monday. Thanks for joining us.
Indeed, we're very happy that you've been with us. We've had some great segments this far. Of course, talking with Dr. Pinto about urology care and, wetting the bed and continence. It was really a great conversation. And I love that Dr. Pinto brings so much knowledge to everything, Mark, and really just kind of explains things that Bahamians take for granted, right? Like you just kind of accept, oh, this is what my body does. But in reality, he's saying it does not have to do that. So it's always good speaking with him.
Yeah, and he just has a very clear way of presenting the information, judgment-free, makes you feel very comfortable about any situation that he's discussing or any topic. And so we definitely love having him on the show. Eli's going to be okay. We're gonna make sure he nips that little wedding.
I thought we weren't calling names, Mark.
I know. Sorry.
And then of course it's always fun to have Naughty on the show. I'm very proud of him, man. It's when Bahamians are doing things that are out of the box, it's not as easy as it seems. And so it's good to me that he's managed to stick through it for 15 years. And now, of course, it has become the staple that he talked about. But I don't know that it was that way in the very beginning, right? And so it's just always good to me when I see Bahamians, especially in fields that are non-traditional, succeeding. And so congratulations to Naughty on his team. Love that he shouted out his wife for 15 years of Laughfest.
That's 15 years of wisdom he's probably picked up, and he knew to shout her out. And just love to see the new faces getting into the comedy scene. Shadfa, one of my cast members from the spot. Naughty, been on the spot stage for sure. He's been an inspiration for us in some of our skits. Definitely worked along with us. And so we love to see that the comedy is still continuing. So y'all make sure go support the thing. Laughfest happening this weekend.
Indeed. But we got more to come in the second half of our show. We're going to be talking with Doctors Hospital about the Kavala Medical Center in Grand Bahama now being a part of their healthcare system.
And we're going to get wild today. We're talking with Scott Johnson about our diverse terrestrial wildlife in the Bahamas. But before that, let's take a second look at weather with Brother Godfrey Burnside.
Weather at Sunrise, brought to you by Bahamas First. What's first for you comes first for us.
Thank you, Mark, and good morning, Bahamas. In your second look at weather at sunrise, surface trough across the central Bahamas will create some unsettled weather across the islands today through tomorrow, as we have a ridge of high pressure that will generate some windy conditions across the central and southeastern islands through the remainder of the week. Sun does moves in on Wednesday, and I'll drive out and have a lovely week for most of the week. In the marine forecast today, those winds east to southeast at 10 to 15 knots, sea 2 to 4 feet over the northwest Bahamas, 15 to 20 knots, seas 4 to 7 feet over the central and southeastern islands. On Tuesday, winds east to southeast at 15 knots, seas 2 to 5 feet in the northwest Bahamas, 15 to 20 knots, seas 4 to 7 feet over the central and southeastern islands. Now on Wednesday, those winds become southeasterly at 10 to 15 knots, seas 2 to 4 feet in the northwest Bahamas, continuing east to southeast at 15 to 20 knots, seas 4 to 7 feet over the central and southeastern islands. Your tide just had a high tide at 6:15 this morning. Next low tide is 17 minutes past midday. High gain this evening at 6:48. Sunset 7:57 this evening, rising on 6:34. UV index 9. Your water temperature 80 degrees Fahrenheit. And the moon phase is now moving towards a new moon. Next final look, that surface trough will exit the island as it moves westward on Wednesday. Like I said, the hard as moves in on Wednesday, it will dry us out. But the ridge of high pressure will continue to give us some windy conditions for the remainder of the week. Those temperatures daytime will be around the 90-degree mark, nighttime in the upper 70s. If that puts you off me a fun look at weather sunrise, I'm Godfrey Burnside. Back to you, Mark.
Thank you so much, Godfrey. The Kavala Medical Center in 8 Mile Rock is now a part of the Doctors Hospital Health System, offering affordable, accessible, community-minded, state-of-the-art healthcare. Here to talk with us about this, I'm so happy to welcome Dr. Dawn Gallagher. She's a family medicine practitioner and she's the lead physician at Kavala Medical Center. Dr. Gallagher, good morning and welcome to Bahamas at Sunrise.
Good morning, Star. How are you?
I am so good, Dawn. I'm just happy to be speaking with you, happy to be seeing your beautiful face. And then, of course, knowing that the work that you're doing is just helping the community of Grand Bahama, of course, which we both love. And so really excited, Dawn, to be doing this interview.
Oh, thank you. Same here. Same here.
Yeah. So let's talk about Kavala. What services are available there right now?
Okay, so Kavala offers primary and preventative care, which means management of the common conditions like diabetes and high blood pressure. It also involves providing access to screening so that we could prevent illnesses. And then, of course, your day-to-day illnesses and ailments like your coughs and colds, sprains, headaches, aches and pains along those lines. This facility also provides labs, which is really important for this area because this would be the first lab in this area, so that samples can be taken and actually processed here and not have to be sent off, which eliminates some of the delay that you get in trying to wait for results. Kavala is also boasting being able to offer dialysis services, which is also a first for this area. And unfortunately, it's a service that's very well needed for people of this community and the entire Western District in particular.
That's awesome. Congratulations. Hearing about the lab services, knowing about the need for dialysis there. And I'm loving the fact that this is in the western part of the island, giving them those services that they need. So this is really exciting. What has the local response been like to Doctors Hospital coming to Grand Bahama and particularly this area of Western Grand Bahama?
Well, everybody's been excited because not only is Doctors Hospital investing in this community and this end of the island, but they are pulling out all of the stops essentially to make sure that the services are not only accessible, but they're very affordable. So our motto has been, we're not turning any patients away. So whether it be under NHI or they have private insurance or private paid, like the kind of service that was already accessible here under Dr. Kavala himself, Doctors Hospital is making sure that this community is going to be able to use this clinic and maximize its use and not be turned away because of what they think they know of the Doctors Hospital brand, but rather this is a new era where Doctors Hospital is reaching out to the grassroots people of this community. And so that is really exciting for everybody here.
Yeah, I'm really grateful. I'm really grateful. Having done lots of work with the Anchor Club many years ago in that community, knowing that there are so many different levels of access, different levels of financial stability, that people still have access to healthcare, which is just so critical in making sure that people can live a good quality of life. So I'm happy to hear that they've responded well. I'm happy to hear that Doctors has been making it as accessible as it has been. I also heard that there might be some rumors of an expansion. So I'm going to have to ask you, Dawn, is it true that an expansion is already being planned?
Yeah, so there is an expansion because the goal is for us to offer premier services, not just in the Western District, but the island of Grand Bahama in total. So there is, already they're under demolition, the building up in Freeport proper, that is going to be a 30-bed hospital that offers specialty services that will be shared between the hospital as well as the Kavala Medical Center. And of course, at the main hospital, there will be ICU beds, full dialysis unit, lab, radiology services. You can have surgeries there, have babies there. And so this is something that's really welcomed in the community of Grand Bahama as a whole.
Okay, that's exciting to hear. And, Grand Bahama really is in need of it. And I think when we think back about how continuous hurricanes, not just Dorian, long before that, have destroyed parts of our medical community. And then we think about the changing dynamics of Grand Bahama, even in terms of the population, that this is really important, that we do this and that we have access to this opportunity for people to have the best healthcare possible. And so I'm happy to hear that Doctors is not just servicing people of the West who really needed it, but also moving more into central Grand Bahama and making sure that they're in partnership with PHA for that 30-bed hospital. That sounds sounds awesome. And I'm looking forward to learning more as the time goes on. Dawn, of course, I know you have been brilliant since my childhood. And so I know that you must be a phenomenal leader, but I imagine that you're not doing this on your own. So can you talk to us about the team there at Kavala?
Well, our team consists of, an awesome director, as Kendra Stirrup, who is the director of finances and operations on the ground. And then we have a mixture of people some of them who are from the Western District, who are skilled at dialysis, lab, you name it, who are just pulling together to make sure that the experience of the clients that come to Kavala Medical Center, as well as Doctors Hospital on the whole, is something that is uniform and consistent with what we know Doctors Hospital to be, but also has like a Grand Bahama, Freeport, 8 Mile Rock twist on it that our own people will love and appreciate. So that's where we're going with this. We're making sure that once patients experience this Kavala Medical Center and Doctors Hospital as a whole in Freeport, they wouldn't choose anything else.
Excellent. I love it. I love it. So let's talk about how they can make that choice. Can people just walk in and see someone, or do they need to make an appointment? What is the way that they can begin to or continue to access services afforded by Kavala Medical Center?
Okay, so the goal is for appointment-based services. That way it minimizes wait times. All of the pre-registration stuff is already taken care of. But of course, we're also going to allow walk-ins. So that, like I say, we're not turning anybody away, because sometimes things happen and you can't make an appointment for it. So the services are twofold in that way.
Okay. And where specifically are you located, Dawn? I know it's in that 8 Mile Rock community, but where specifically can people find you?
Okay, so it's in the heart of Hannah Hill, which is basically in the center of 8 Mile Rock proper. But of course, we're also looking, because I don't know if you are aware, this community has a very large elderly population. So we're looking to have transport available too, so that we can shuttle patients to and from the clinic for the dialysis needs, as well as just for their general clinic needs as well.
That's awesome. And Dawn, is there a number where we should reach you, or is there a website that we can go to?
The number, hold on. I'm the C patient person.
I know, right? That's when you work there. It's like, I don't call it because I work there.
I don't.
They have my cell phone, so they call me.
All right, it's 688-6002. Thanks for putting me on the spot.
688-6002. Awesome.
Yes.
All right. We have that now. And we know that you guys are in Hannah Hill looking to continue to expand, heading towards Central, but even just expanding services there. Dawn, this has really been a great conversation for me. One, to see you, of course, but more than that, to hear about the progress that's happening in Grand Bahama, and to see the public-private partnership making that possible. So congratulations to you and the team at Kavala. Thank you so much for joining us this morning on Bahamas at Sunrise.
Thank you, and good morning, Bahamas again.
You're watching Bahamas at Sunrise. We're just talking with the phenomenal Dr. Dawn Gallagher over there at the Kavala Medical Center in Grand Bahama. Looking forward to continuing to see Doctors Hospital grow. We'll be back with more in just a minute.
In the Bahamas, small business is big business. More than 90% of the businesses in the Bahamas are classified as micro, small, or medium-sized enterprises, or MSMEs. The Access Accelerator Small Business Development Center was created to serve them. We at the Access Accelerator offer a variety of services to our clients: business advisory services, training and entrepreneurial programming, mentorship and incubation, and advocacy.
One thing, two things, blue thing, old things, things that are small, things that are grand, things that fit just right into the palm of your hand. Fox Hill Nursery, a large selection of garden supplies. If you can see it in your mind, you can find it at Fox Hill Nursery.
Welcome back. The goal of our next guest, environmental scientist Scott Johnson, is to showcase Bahamian animals and wildlife of all kinds and to educate Bahamians and how amazing they are and how diverse our terrestrial wildlife actually is. Good morning and welcome to Bahamas at Sunrise. Scott Johnson with Wild Bahamas.
Good morning, everybody.
It's a pleasure for you to be here. I've known you since childhood, and I'll be the first person to tell you that Scott was meant to deal with wildlife. He was the only person in grade 1 at Kingsway Academy that could name all the dinosaurs. When I say all the dinosaurs, common and scientific names, right? So he's definitely talented and where he needs to be. Scott, tell us about your Facebook and YouTube channel, Wild Bahamas.
Well, like you mentioned, Wild Bahamas is an educational page that helps to teach people about Bahamian wildlife. I know a lot of Bahamians, when we talk about wildlife, they tend to lean more towards the marine side of things. They tend to think of conch, they tend to think of grouper, lobster, the ocean, because the tourism market always focuses or primarily focuses on the marine, the blue. We love the blue. The blue is very attractive to guests and visitors. But what a lot of people don't realize is that the terrestrial side of things has a lot of interesting animals and plants as well. In fact, most of our endemic animals, that's the creatures that are found only in the Bahamas, are terrestrial. And so what my page does is it helps to showcase the variety of different terrestrial wildlife that we have in the country and educate people more about them so that they are more aware of what it is that they see when they go around looking for things. And I'm not just talking about, animals that are typically known by Bahamians, Caribbean flamingos, Bahama parrots, rocky iguanas. Yeah, those are wonderful animals, but we have so much more. We have such a nice diversity of species here. And that's my goal, to help broaden your horizons on Bahamian wildlife.
So you used a term there I want to dive into. You mentioned endemic species. Explain to us what that is and what are some of the important things we need to know about it?
Well, an endemic species is a species that is found in only one geographic location. In our case, we have dozens of endemic species. We have all of our snakes are endemic to the Lucayan archipelago. We have about 6 endemic species of birds. We have numerous species of arthropods, that's insects and arachnids and stuff like that, that are endemic to the country. And then if you want to go into the plant side, we have like 89 endemic species of plants. And because plants are so strongly tied to animals, you have to include them in our understanding of terrestrial ecosystems, to Bahamian ecology and that kind of thing.
You mentioned another word there I'm going to jump on because many people know you as the snake guy. When they find a boa that might be 6-7 feet long, or if it's a little pygmy boa that's that big, they're like, where's Scott? Come and save the snake. So tell us a little bit about indigenous snakes in the country and just the cultural reaction to it and what's been a part of your mission as Wild Bahamas to fix that.
Well, there are about 12, maybe 13 species of snakes that are that you could find in the Bahamas that are native. We also have a couple non-native snakes. We have corn snakes. We have Brahmini blind snakes. Those are the little skinny worm-like snakes that people see come into their house when it rains or something like that. But those ones aren't necessarily native. They are from, the Brahmini brown snake is from Africa, and the corn snake is from southeastern United States. But snakes are probably the most persecuted animals in the country. When the average Bahamian sees it, they want to chop it. They either want to chop it or they want to brace it. They want to do something with it, but they want to get rid of it. And it's unwarranted. Our snakes are not like snakes that you find in North America and other parts of the world. Our snakes are non-venomous, or I should say not venomous to humans. And they play an incredible ecological role as rodent removers, as helping to maintain bird populations, and a whole bunch of other things. And Bahamians, I feel as though Bahamians do like snakes more than they say. And how do I know? Because when you bring a 7-foot snake out, people are like, their eyes open. They're like, man, I scared, but at the same time, I'm curious.
Yes.
I want to know more about this animal. And ever since we started educating people about snakes, it always draws a crowd. Always draws a crowd.
Yep.
And so
go ahead.
one of the things with Wild Bahamas is that we want to continue with that positive energy and continue to help to bring more people to the awareness that our snakes are wonderful creatures that deserve to be protected, and that deserve to live. They don't deserve to be chopped just because you don't like them. Just because you don't like something doesn't give you the reason to go out and kill it.
Right.
Some people don't like cats. You don't see nobody going out chopping up cats. And cats bite and scratch.
Exactly.
So
no, but I what you're saying is very important, and I can say, you know, with confidence that I don't know another Bahamian who has spent as much time as you have educating other Bahamians about the importance of terrestrial wildlife and speaking on behalf of the animals. I know I liken myself to the Lorax when I say I speak on behalf of the trees as a botanist, but for you, you speak on behalf of our Bahamian wildlife, and that does not go unrecognized or unappreciated. There's many people across this country that you handed them their first snake, so we have to recognize that. But I want to talk a little bit about how do we cultivate this spirit, this interest in Bahamian wildlife. As I mentioned, you've hosted a number of workshops from young to the young at heart. And how do we teach our children to love our native flora and fauna?
Well, one, the best way to teach children is to let them interact with wildlife. Let them see that, hey, these animals aren't bad. And so during times when I was working at the Bahamas National Trust, we did a lot of work with helping to raise that awareness about snakes and other animals. And so moving on my own, just want to continue moving that type of stuff forward. But educating children is about animals is easy for me, or just in general, because kids like animals. Kids like to explore. I know me, like you said, I was a big dinosaur nerd, still kind of a dinosaur nerd. But now I deal with birds and I deal with reptiles. Birds, scientists consider birds to be dinosaurs. So it looks like I never got away from dinosaurs. So I mean, it's still a wonderful experience. But get them outside. We spend a lot of time in front of the computer, but if we want to educate kids, we got to get them outside, get them in the bush, let them see and let them interact with a snake, let them interact with a beetle or something like that. Let them learn about the amazing wildlife that we have here. Let them know about what plants may be attractive to butterflies. Simple as butterflies, or even going outside catching lizard. All this kind of stuff, those trial and error things that I did as a child helped me out a lot right now. So get them out there, educate them about it. And as a parent or as an adult, step out of your personal comfort zone.
Yes.
You may not like snakes, but if somebody's showing you that the snake is not dangerous and they are holding the animal and stuff like that, it wouldn't hurt you to give it a try. I'm not saying that people should love snakes, because chances are they may not. But at the same time, they can still appreciate snakes to the point where they say, well, I don't like you, but I'm not going to go and kill you. And when the kids see that, when the kids see that, the kids also learn, hey, I don't need to go and kill this. And actually, these are quite cool. So,
and what you said was very important about the parents, because the children, they learn by example. They watch the parents and the adults see how they react. So I know it might be hard, but when that little roach or that frog jumps in the house, try not to holler and scream and throw salt at it and get the shoe. See it as a teaching moment. If you can, take a deep breath and recognize that, you know, this is a child who can grow up to be somebody like Scott. They can be a Bahamian scientist that's studying our Bahamian environment, educating Bahamians about it, working in conservation, and just loving what it is that they do. As Anadi said earlier, once you get paid to do what you love, you never work a day in your life. So let me ask you this question, Scott. What do you love about our native environment, and what advice would you give to students who are in high school, who are thinking about career options, possibly in the biology realm or in the wildlife realm?
Well, what I love about the Bahamian environment is that it's ours. That's the biggest thing. You know, there are animals here that you are not going to find anywhere on earth. And those are something that we should claim and we should hold with a level of pride. Whether it be a snake, whether it be something that you may not like, these are Bahamian animals. Now, these are the true Bahamians because they've been here before us. We only been in the Bahamas for 300-400 years, but these guys been here for thousands. And so showing that level of respect, that helps to encourage me to continue moving forward because I love Bahamian animals and I want people to love Bahamian animals, especially the terrestrial ones. People like dolphins, people like whales, people like sharks, wonderful. But I also want you to like things like our endemic frog, Eleutherodactylus rhodesi. I want you to like Bahamian snakes. I want you to like some of our beetles. I want you to like Bahamian tarantulas, which are endemic, our only endemic tarantula spider. The creepy crawly ones are the ones that people will be like, I ain't really interested in that. Okay, well, you could like 6 endemic species of birds, Bahama orioles, Bahama yellowthroats, Bahama swallows, Inago wood stars. You could love those animals. You could plant those endemic plants that the birds and the animals like, and that shows appreciation for the animals. And so what I would do to encourage young people is if you have the opportunity to volunteer in particular organizations like the Bahamas National Trust or any other NGO, I would say take that. One is because the more diversified your background is, the more likely you're going to be hired. You could have the greatest, you could have a 4.0 GPA, but if a student has a 2.4 GPA, but they had 5 or 6 years of volunteering experience in the field, so they know what to do, guess who's going to be hired? Okay, so you're 4.0, that's great. That tells me that you can regurgitate things that you learned, but I need somebody, or the organization needs people who can actually do stuff on the ground. So you need to find that balance. So get out there, go and explore the environment. Trial and error is very important, especially in the biology world. You are going to mess up. You are going to get stung by stinging ants. You may get stung by a wasp and stuff like that. These things are just what happen in the field. It's going to be hot. Mosquitoes definitely can kiss you. So do that. And also don't be afraid to ask questions. There are a lot of Bahamian scientists out there who would love to help guide the new generation in the field. I know all of us are not, me and you, for example, we may not be able to stay in the field all the time, but training the next generation to go out there and continue and pass that baton on, that's something that we are all going to be looking forward to do and are more than willing to assist in the future.
Each one, teach one, right? And bush life is where it's at. I know we have tons of marine biologists in the country and whales and dolphins and turtles are cozy, but the bush is where it's at, right?
That's exactly.
Before we go, Scott, I want you to tell our viewers how they can find you and reach out to you if they have any questions about Bahamian wildlife. I know people would call on you from left, right, and center when they see undesirables around, but just tell us how they can find you in Wild Bahamas and get more information about the work that you do.
Sure. You can contact me at scottswildbahamas@gmail.com. You could also send me a note on my Wild Bahamas Facebook page, and you could also send me a message on my Wild Bahamas YouTube page. And, like and subscribe. There's still a lot of content coming out, and some bigger things are going to be happening in the future. Can't really speak on all of that now, but I just want to give you guys a heads up that there's some big things that are coming out that my wife and I are working on. So awesome. Looking forward to showcasing that and giving people a better appreciation for our islands and our wildlife.
Awesome. Scott Johnson with Wild Bahamas. He told you where to find him. Go on his page. He has wonderful photographs. He's taken a lot of time to select the right shots. It's all nicely labeled for you. So that's the first way you can meet our Bahamian wildlife. Go visit his page, look through the photos, and get out in the bush one day. Scott, we'd like to thank you for joining us, Bahamas at Sunrise, representing Wild Bahamas and all things wildlife and terrestrial. Thank you again, my brother, for the work that you do.
Thank you all, and enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you, man. Bye. You're watching Bahamas at Sunrise. We'll be right back.
Comfort Suites Paradise Island is the best kept secret in the Bahamas. Located directly next door to the Atlantis Resort, you'll receive all the privileges of an Atlantis guest with all the benefits of a Comfort Suite stay. Enjoy everything Atlantis has to offer, including Aquaventure Water Park, plus all the amenities of Comfort Suites. Free Wi-Fi, free breakfast daily, and kids stay, play, and eat free. Visit comfortsuitespi.com.
Well, that's going to do it for us, folks. Thank you so much for tuning in to today's episode of Bahamas at Sunrise. We hope you enjoyed it as much as we enjoyed bringing it to you. We wish you a wonderful week.
Always a pleasure starting out the week with you. Looking forward to ending it with you on Friday morning. Enjoy your week, folks. Thanks for joining us.